Hey, welcome to Alex Shares Knowledge. Thanks for checking out this video. The topic of my short video today is, should you read the Communist Manifesto? And my answer to that question is yes, after you study evolutionary psychology. I think before you get involved with any of these modern day, or rather contemporary political ideologies, that you first study things like behavioral biology, evolutionary psychology especially, and evolution in general. And then you'll have a better starting point to sort of consider political ideologies, which are ideologies and they're political. So most people today, like if you try to talk about things like socialism, they'll jump right into accusing you of being a Marxist or of not having read Marx or this or that. And I used to have another YouTube channel when I was younger. I've read all this stuff. The Communist Manifesto is really short. It's easy to read, and you should read it. You should read other stuff too. Like on communism, read up on fascism, read up on communism, read up on liberalism, read up on anarchism. Read Lenin, Left-Wing Communism and Infantile Disorder. Read, if you're into anarchism, read Peter Kropotkin, The Conquest of Bread. This is sort of an alternate take on evolution from a Darwinian perspective. Kropotkin's arguing that it's the survival of the most cooperative who win out in the end, sort of thing. All of these things you should be reading, right? But I think that you should only read that after you study other disciplines first. And so, this was a good book. Brett Weinstein and his wife Heather Haying wrote A Hunter-Gatherer's Guide to the 21st Century: Evolution and the Challenges of Modern Life. I have mixed opinions about Brett Weinstein and Heather Haying, but when it comes to evolution, that's their specific field. I think they wrote a really good book here. This book has a layout in the beginning of a brief history of the human lineage, and it's a really good way to kind of appreciate, how we were apes before we were what we are today, which is still a form of evolved ape. But also, I'd like to recommend this book, Individualism and the Western Liberal Tradition, and the subtitle, Evolutionary Origins, History and Prospects for the Future. These are all good books to understand, like the mix of collectivist tendencies that we have psychologically and the drives that we have to be individualistic, especially if you're European like I am. So I think that before you can really have an intelligent conversation on a lot of political issues these days, you have to sort of be educated in things like evolutionary psychology, behavioral biology, anthropology, sociology, understanding how religion relates to genetics, things like that. And then you can get into other stuff, because people now are just dumbed down and trained to think in binaries, and any kind of criticism of capitalism, people instantly kind of like label you a Marxist and so on. It's interestingly, instead of like say a National Socialist or something, and so a lot of the evolutionary psychology stuff, it's not conservative or liberal or anything like that, but it might have like sort of a political implication to it just by the de facto way that human beings work. So again, I think you should read something like the Communist Manifesto, because it's super easy to digest. And I don't give it much thought. People often accuse me of like being a Marxist, but like to me it's a materialist, very very materialist take on things that's just so oversimplified and just obviously wrong that I don't give much thought to like Marxism as an ideology. Although all these thinkers like Marx and all these controversial political thinkers, they're right about some things and wrong about others, and Marx was right about a bunch of stuff. So you don't have to be a Marxist to be able to recognize a lot of problems with late stage capitalism and consumer society as it is today. And these people that have these strong knee-jerk responses to defend capitalists and billionaires, and even to think that billionaires should be paying a flat rate tax, is just interesting to me. But in order to have intelligent discussions on that stuff, you have to understand like more about the evolutionary reasons why we are the way we are, and sort of how that gets manipulated by the system these days. So please consider that. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.